Hello there, it's Coaster Review here, and I want to be talking about my top 25 roller coasters. Finally, I'm doing one. I have a respectable coaster count. I went on about 250 coasters, that is 250 credits, so I finally thought I could do a top 25. This year I've ridden so many coasters it's not even funny. I have almost, like, times my coaster count before 2022 by like 4.5. It's crazy. Because I only had like 60 credits before this year, and I have 250. Yeah. I just got back from California, of course, also that's why I haven't been uploading. I uploaded a little bit, but you know. Anyways, let's get to my top 25 coasters and put down down in the comments below what your top 25 is. So, let's look at the honorable mentions first. Magnum XL 200, Pantheon, Comet, Lightning Rod, Railblazer, and Mystic Timbers. Okay, now let's get to 25. Number 25 is Iron Rat. We're at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, which opened in 2013, made by RMC, of course. I think the ride is good. It has, two great drops. With the first drop was one of my favorites, and the cliff dive, which I think or the Corey dive, which I think is a good drop also. But between that, the Heaven Roll is good. It's a very short ride, and of course meanders a little bit. So I think that's just why, because it only had three standout elements. One of them's phenomenal. The Heaven Roll is pretty good for a zero-G roll, to say the least. So anyways, let's get to number 24. 24 is the best coaster in Texas. Texas Stingray at SeaWorld San Antonio. Yeah, I have a Texas Stingray in front of Mystic Timbers. I don't know why. Mystic Timbers didn't give me those great forces that everyone says it gives. Well, Texas Stingray in a morning ride was only warming up for like 2 hours. It was going to be so strong ejector air time. It was endless, or it felt endless, and it was running so fast throughout the ride. I just love Texas Stingray with how many forces it gave me. And I've been recently seeing a lot more people giving it more love. Like Air Time Throws has been giving it a tad bit more love, which I do like, because I think it is a very underrated coaster still. Number 23 is Diamondback at Kings Island, the B&M Hyper. And yeah, it's good. It gives a lot of floater. It doesn't do much, but it's long. It gives a lot of floater. Number 22 is Orion at Kings Island, another short B&M, but it's a mini Giga. I just call it a mini Giga. I'll rank it with the Gigas if I do rank all the Giga coasters, but I call it a mini Giga, like it is with mini hypers. Anyways, yeah, Orion gives good forces, but is very short, not in height, in length. But yeah, 21 is Mako at SeaWorld Orlando, which opened in 2016. It's my favorite hypercoaster by B&M, of course. Of course, has great airtime. It's a pretty long ride. The second half is, well, meh. It's still okay, but it could be better. But the first half's so phenomenal that I can just ignore that. I went on this ride so many times, probably more than 30 at this point almost. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot more if SeaWorld Orlando felt like running more than one train a lot during the winter. But yeah, I really like Mako. Gives a lot of good forces. Even gets a little bit of positives at some points too. And that's a nominal drop. Number 20 is Leviathan, the B&M Giga Coaster at Canada's Wonderland, and the only coaster on the list in Canada. I think Leviathan is a good coaster. It doesn't get me hyped up. Like, if I want to get back to Canada's Wonderland, I'll be like, oh yeah, let's go on Leviathan. I really want to go on Leviathan. I'll be like, yeah, oh yeah, Leviathan's good. Let's go on it. I'm not excited after getting off of it, which is kind of weird. I've only ridden it once or twice. So yeah, I just think it just doesn't have any phenomenal elements, but overall it is a very good ride. Number 19 is Gold Striker at California's Great America, which I love the ride. I think it's the best pure GCI pure GCI. There's a Pacific Other GCI, partial GCI that, is higher, but still. Gold Striker is phenomenal. Great pacing. It gives so many pops of airtime, so strong airtime. It is a tad bit rough, but I think the roughness improves the ride, in my opinion. I don't know why, but I feel like it improves the ride. Again, I can't explain why. I just think it does. So yeah, Gold Striker, phenomenal roller coaster. 18th is Incredible Hulk, Islands of Adventure, the B&M sit-down coaster. Of course, I just went on this only 4 months ago. I know I've lived in Orlando for almost my whole life, but I still haven't went on it. It's weird. Island Adventure is basically my home park that isn't a Disney or SeaWorld Orlando. So yeah, but the Incredible Hulk, phenomenal. Gives strong G-force, one of the best B&M loopers in my opinion. I'll say 1 or 2 is better, or there's 2 that are better in my opinion, which we're going to be seeing very soon. But yeah, overall, very, very strong G-forces. Second half does kind of fall off, though, which is kind of sad. If second half was better, it could probably compete for best B&M looper. Anyways, number 17 is Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion, the RMC hybrid, which it has a lot of airtime, but I don't think the airtime is as strong as something like, per se, the 2014, 2015 RMCs. The 2014 and the 2015 RMCs, in my opinion, has the strongest airtime of any RMC years. I don't know why. I feel like 2018 RMC ejector is weaker than 2014 to 2015 ejector. Is weird. I think they just profiled them differently then and were a tad bit more aggressive with it, I would assume. So yeah. Overall, still phenomenal ride, gives a lot of airtime, has decent inversions. So yeah, still great ride. In my opinion, of course. Anyways, number 16 is Montu of Assurance Tampa Bay. The B&M invert. The best B&M invert, in my opinion. Montu, phenomenal forces in the first half. The Batwing, phenomenal. The second half is phenomenal also, with a very intense loop, the pretty decently intense turns, and of course the phenomenal corkscrew to end the ride. So yeah, we're all very long ride, very strong forces, and in a very good environment with all the trenches that you go through. Number 15 is Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood, the Morgan Hypercoaster, which I consider opening in 2001, even though, something on RCDB says, when the Aero Looper opened, but, it's not an Aero Looper anymore. But it gives phenomenal airtime, has phenomenal drop, not the first drop, but, the drop into the ravine is phenomenal, and gives very strong forces in the second half. So yeah, phenomenal roller coaster. Is kind of short, though. Number 14 is the best B&M looper, in my opinion. Kumba at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, which opened in 1993. The first large-scale B&M looper, actually. It is... I got some new rides on it, probably a month and a half ago, when this video is being posted. And it gives some of the most phenomenal forces then. I got some night rides on it. It's pitch black back there. The 0G roll is phenomenal. You get airtime going up into the dive loop and get slammed down with the positive G-forces when you're pulling out of the inversion. The first vertical loop, of course, it's intense. You get whipped down from the drop. The Cobra roll is one of my favorite Cobra rolls, in my opinion, or one of my favorite Cobra rolls. And the second half, they were barely, they were trimming a little bit, but not too much. And the corkscrews were very intense. The helix at the end got me to gray out. It was pretty impressive how strong the forces were on the ride. Anyways, let's get to the best B&M. Number 13, Fury 325 at Carowinds, which opened in 2015 by B&M. Of course, Fury 325 is B&M's largest coaster, the largest coaster with a lift hill. And I think the ride's phenomenal. I don't think anything can come near it in that size bracket of the 300-foot B&Ms. Of course, there's some Giga Coasters that are a little bit better. Then in the bracket of B&Ms, not of the giant B&Ms, it is top. Is top there. Number 12 is Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England, the RMC. In my opinion, this is the staple, in my opinion, of the RMC 2014 to 2015 ejector airtime. The ejector airtime on Wicked Cyclone, I think it doesn't have pacing issues. The airtime hills give so phenomenal ejector airtime. Like almost all the hills give as good of it or as strong of ejector as the best hills on Steel Vengeance. I know some of it is not as sustained, of course, as Steel Vengeance, and the ride's a lot shorter. But I think the airtime is stronger by far than like something like Steel Vengeance, even though there's less of it. So yeah, but I think Steel Vengeance is a better overall ride. At number 11 is the other ride at Six Flags New England. Superman the Ride, the Intamin Hybrid that opened in 2000. Wicked Cyclone and Superman the Ride are very close in my opinion. They are equal, almost. Superman the Ride, I think Superman the Ride does give a better experience. Because it's a very long ride, very good, strong ejector airtime. If it didn't have the brick lap bars, the U-bricks, I think it could be maybe in a conversation with the top Intamins, but I think the notch lower. Because I have like the top 6 Intamins all next to each other, and then I have Superman the Ride only a few behind. But I think it could be in the top 2 Intamins even, top 3 Intamins, if it did not have the U-bricks. But it has one of the best way-outs of all time. Probably the best way-out. Gives strong laterals, gives strong airtime. Of course, very long ride. Everything flows phenomenally. So yeah, I think it's just a phenomenal ride. Number 10 is one or the highest ranked roller coaster from the 90s or before on this list. Ghost Rider and Knott's Berry Farm. Of course, my favorite GCI. Though actually the only CCI I went on. It's kind of weird. But yeah, Ghost Rider, phenomenal ride. Phenomenal ride, in my opinion. It is just great. Why am I just repeatedly saying the same thing? Whatever. Ghost Rider gives great airtime. A lot of airtime in the first half. And, decent camelbacks. Gives good laterals in the first half. Drop off to mid-course is good. I never got a back row ride, but even in the middle, it was phenomenal. The second half is phenomenal with a lot of laterals. The lateral helix. And a lot of small airtime also, which gave phenomenal airtime. We got Night Ride on it, which I think this is the highest it will get in my ranking ever, but it is a phenomenal ride. Number 9 is Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain, RMC hybrid from 2015. I do have this in front of Wicked Cyclone, but they're both 2014 to 2015 RMC ejector. And I think Twisted Colossus does not have as strong of airtime. It's still better than Steel Vengeance, or stronger than Steel Vengeance's airtime, in my opinion. But still, I think that the ride has a lot better inversions. Top Gun Stall, phenomenal inversion. The Zero G roll, phenomenal inversion. I love those 2 inversions. Those are the 2 inversions on the ride. Both of them are world class in my opinion. So yeah. That's why I have it in front of Wicked Cyclone. But even that Wicked Cyclone does have stronger airtime. Of course, the dueling factor is also pretty nice. So number 8 is Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. I know that's a tad bit spicy. It is a phenomenal ride. The theming's phenomenal. The ride experience is great. But the first half is good. It's an 8 out of 10. The second launch, or the 2 launches are like first launch is like 8 out of 10. Second launch is a 9 out of 10. Second half is like a 9.5 out of 10. I think all the other rides are a lot better overall. So yeah, in just my opinion. Number 7 is Maverick, as an example of the best Intamin Blitz, in my opinion, that I've went on, of course, in America, at least, because I've won almost every single one in America. Yeah, I have. I don't imagine in Europe there are better ones. But Maverick Cedar Point, which opened in 2007, has a great first half, better than Velocicoaster's first half. Had a better second launch than Velocicoaster, by far better second half, or a 10 out of 10 second half, also better than Velocicoaster's, with the very intense transitions. Number 6 is Sky Rush at Hershey Park, which opened in 2012 by Intamin Amusement Rides. Sky Rush, the first half, or the drop, one of the best drops of all time, in my opinion. The first 2 airtime was phenomenal. The rest of the ride is still a good 9 out of 10, though. Or then still only like a 9 out of 10, though. While the first 3 elements are easy 10 out of 10s. So yeah. I think that's why it can't go any higher. But it's still, of course, phenomenal. So number 5 is Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. I love this ride. It's the most intense roller coaster. Yeah, it's the most intense roller coaster, in my opinion. It doesn't give it any negatives, barely. But the transitions are better than Mavericks, or on the same par. But they're a lot faster. So, I think Intimidator 305 brings the most intensity. Of course, I think Maverick does have better transitions, per se. But Intimidator 305, with the intensity being a lot more intense than Maverick, and being not as long, I guess, but still, it's just a lot more, by far, 10 times more intense than Maverick, even that the transitions are on par with Maverick. I don't know if I'm comparing to Maverick that much. I guess they're the same generation of Intimins, I guess. But not same type, of course. Number 4 is El Toro Six Flags for Adventure, the Intamin prefabricated wooden coaster. If Celine does not reopen El Toro, of course, I hope he will. If he does not fix it correctly this time, I'm going to be so phenomenally mad it's not even funny. Because El Toro is a phenomenal coaster. Great first drop. The 2 first Camelbacks, 2 of the best airtime moments of all time. And sustained and how strong the ejector is. And in the rest of the ride, of course, Rolling Thunder Hill, one of the strongest points of airtime of all time. I think as strong as, or stronger than any moment on Wicked Cyclone, in my opinion. So yeah, it's phenomenal. It's kind of short, but the Twister section is also phenomenal, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it is a good number 4. And I'll be very sad, to say the least, if it does get closed, because we didn't want to throw some money at it. Number 3 is X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I was about to say Great America. Six Flags Magic Mountain, the Aerodynamics 4th Dimension coaster. I just went on it only, give it or take, 2.5 weeks ago. And the ride, I had wanted 240 credits at that point. I actually now went on 290, so I was kind of lying to you guys. I kind of forgot that about the California trip. But yeah, X2, it was so phenomenal. X2, I even had one on 240 credits, or I had 240 credits. I was still intimidated by it. Yeah, and it's the only coaster I've been intimidated to go on. Of course, I went on it, and I loved it. The first drop, one of the most insane, diabolical drops to ever exist. The ride overall is just diabolical, as Billy Butcher would say. But, yeah. It is a phenomenal ride. The Raven Dive, I don't remember exactly, Raven Turnout. The element after the first drop, phenomenal. the airtime hills, which has your the seat flip, phenomenal. The Zero Giro, where your seats flip, while also the track flipping, phenomenal. The last Raven Diver, Raven Turn, whatever it's called, phenomenal. Even that's really had a lot of jackhammering, but still, yeah, it's phenomenal. At number 2 is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. I know you guys are a bit surprised, I would assume, but it is phenomenal. It gives so much airtime, it's not even funny. Of course, airtime's not as strong as the 2014 to 2015 airtime for RMC, but I think it's still a phenomenal ride. So long of a ride, gives so much airtime, has great inversions. But personally, I prefer number 1, just because I think the forces are stronger, a lot stronger, while being shorter, yes. Which number 1's Iron Gwazi. I prefer rides that are shorter. Of course, if Iron Gwazi was 30 seconds, I wouldn't like it. But Iron Gwazi is still almost 50 seconds long. And in which is only still like 20 seconds less than Steel Vengeance. But the forces on Iron Gwazi counter that. The Death Roll, phenomenal inversion. The Outer Bank, phenomenal. Iron Gwazi's drop is better. Its Outer Bank is better in strength. The Death Roll is stronger than any inversion on Steel Vengeance. Same thing with the American Brain Fart now. And I would say the stall on Iron Gwazi is better than the one on Steel Vengeance. Also, the wave turn is phenomenal. The Outer Bank wave turn and the actual wave turn. And then finale of the ride gives 2014-2015 RMC strong ejector, which of course I love. So yeah, the ride is so fast paced that I have it in front of Steel Vengeance. The ride runs so fast it's not even funny. So yeah, that's my list, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we'll actually talk about one other little thing. So you guys might have been wondering, what year has the most coasters in my top 25? Which there's actually like a 6-way tie, which includes 2001, 2012, 2013, 2015, 2018, and 2020, which all have 2 coasters in my top 25. This is, a cool statistic, I guess, that I just wanted to share, it's kind of interesting. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully I see you guys in my next video. Peace.